My first experience with YFC was as a young person, not as a job or a role, but my friends and I were looking for a mission trip to do one summer. And one of my friends had gone previously with his church on a Project Serve mission trip with Youth for Christ. We weren't dating at the time, but my wife, now Angie, was also on that trip with her youth group, or her YFC chapter from the Sacramento area. And the next year, we then loved it so much that we wanted to take a group of young adults with us on that same trip. And so my first experience with YFC was on some short-term trips to Northern Ireland. And on that second trip, on the way back, I sat next to the director of Project Serve. And he and I got to know each other really well. So when I was in seminary, I worked part-time for YFC USA's Project Serve, their short-term mission department, and did admin stuff during the year. But then in the summers, I got to go overseas and see what YFC was doing around the world. And so I started to have a real heart for Youth for Christ around the world. And when I graduated from seminary, my first full-time role was with YFC International, doing YFC University, which isn't around anymore like it was trying to get off the ground. But I worked then for quite a few years with Youth for Christ International. And it took me, again, around the world and gave me a heart for what YFC was doing in the lives of young people all over the world. It was about that time that I was approached by the area director of MENA and asked, the national director in YFC Cyprus has stepped down. Would you consider just going there and becoming the national director in YFC Cyprus if the board would want you and have you there? And so we prayed about it and talked about it, and my wife and I God started giving us a heart and a passion for that. And so we ended up saying yes to that, and the board met with me and saw God moving in that direction as well. And so that's how my wife and I and my family, I have 3 children as well, ended up living in Cyprus and me becoming the national director of Youth for Christ Cyprus.